first thing is that the load itself was for export. So it went to a bonded warehouse in North Carolina, where it's going to be loaded into a container and then shipped to Europe. Okay, where's the problem? Well, sometimes with intermodal loads, especially if it's a chemical load, even if it's inert or non-hazardous chemical, it's one of those things where there's a lot of paperwork that goes with those loads. Whether that comes to the carrier that's doing the transport from the point of origin to the transshipment point, in this case the bonded warehouse, or the carrier doing the actual shipment from the U.S. to Europe. There's always a lot of paperwork that goes with export loads, chemical or not, just because you got to go through customs and everything else on both ends, just to make sure everything's going to be copacetic. Handshakes all around, every I dotted, every T crossed, the usual humdrum, right? Okay, so first thing that happened was that the rate con that I got with the load had like 60 pages of extraneous details, terms, conditions, contact information, material safety data, all kinds of stuff, even though it was a non-hazardous load, because I don't do hazmat right now. So that created a problem right away, because when I was uploading the paperwork, I sent everything just to make sure that there was going to be no issue with the broker. When they got it on their accounting department, they would see the whole shooting match. And so if anyone had an issue, okay, this is everything that we got, this matches up with the rate cut that we sent to the carrier, so we're good. We have matching paperwork on this end. Now we just need the bill of lading. Okay, we're good, we're signing off, we're going to invoice this, it's going to be good. All right, fine, clear enough. But there was so much paperwork that the factoring company, the people doing the factoring and processing the invoice to pay me, either did not find the BOL or it did not get uploaded. So I go to re-upload it, and then all of a sudden Triumph is having an outage and can't get the invoice resubmitted and get that issue cleared up. So now I'm in limbo on this load for essentially 3 days. Well, 2 days really. So I get it resubmitted yesterday when Triumph is back online. Okay, no problem. I'm checking on the status of it again, and then I see it's rejected because of the missing bill of lading. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, really? Come on, the system can't be this stupid. So I go find the file, re-upload it, put the note in the system, BOL re-uploaded, and then I leave it. Okay, so this morning, after I finish my delivery, my final load of the week, I go to factor it, and I see that the load I was trying to get factored yesterday was rejected again. I read the notes, paperwork, BOL paperwork does not have corresponding address to receiver on the rate card. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. So already I'm ready to fume and chew nails and spit bullets. Like, these guys are working my nerves. I've already had a crappy morning because I had to get rerouted to the alternative entrance to the receiver this morning, so I had to go round and round and round and round and round to find truck safe roads, because I missed not just the first turn, but the second turn as well. So it was like, oh God, it's just one of those days. One of those days where you wish you'd stayed in bed, right? But anyway, so I'm getting the invoice set up and generated for this morning, so I'm getting that paperwork scanned, getting that all uploaded, getting that sent off, and I'm just working to calm myself down while I'm calling the customer support line at Triumph. Because I know there's got to be an issue that somewhere we can just, here's the BOL, let's go through it step by step, line by line, let's figure out what the issue is, let's get this thing processed, because I want to get paid, and I want to make sure this gets off to the broker to get accounted for properly on your end as well. So here we go. So after I get the invoice submitted, I go into the portal on Triumph's page where you can look at the paperwork that's already been submitted and go look through it. So I go and I find the BOL, because they say there's no accurate BOL. So I go and find it because it has the receiver signature on it. So I go and find that, and I'm on the phone with this first person and her phone is just breaking up because everyone's using voice over internet protocols now, apparently, which, okay, fine, whatever. So I say, hey, miss, I'm sorry, you're breaking up really badly. I can't understand a word you're saying. I can barely hear her say, I'm going to put you back on hold and send you to someone else on the team to get you taken care of. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Finally, I get on the phone with somebody else who I can hear and understand, and I'm making it a very strong point to be as professional as possible, even though I want to chew these people out for not reading the information on the paperwork. The BOL had the appropriate numbers on there to tie what I had for a BOL to the rate con I was sent by the broker, and the people who were doing the processing just didn't see it. But even though it's a simple thing that took all of a minute and a half to get sorted out, and I still wanted to scream at somebody, I had to remind myself the person who I was dealing with at that moment was not the person who made the mistake. And even if they had been, it was crucial for me to make sure that I was as professional as possible, because the squeaky wheel might get the grease, but it's also the first to get thrown out. Bear that in mind, because these people who are in support, who are in customer support, phone support, whatever, they talk to other departments, they keep notes, they keep the receipts. If you're poorly behaved to these people, somehow, some way, it gets around their office, and now you have a reputation. And you don't want a reputation with folks who are handling your money. Well, more accurately, you don't want a negative reputation with the folks who are handling your money, because that can create problems down the road. So, I'm working through breathing exercises to a point, and just taking breaths, making sure I don't spew or puke or rage or start cursing this poor gal out, because it wasn't her fault, and she was very helpful, because I told her this is a load for export, and the BOL does not have the address of the bonded warehouse that is the transshipment point on it. She's like, oh, okay, well, that's a routine problem. Like, this comes up every now and again. We just got to go and find an appropriate number on the BOL and tie that to the rate con, and if we can do that, we're going to be good. I'm like, okay, great. I have the BOL in front of me. She says, okay, great. I'll go to the rate con, and we'll go hunt for some numbers. We find the appropriate number, and we match it up. She then finds the BOL herself on her side of the system. She sees the number. She confirms it. She says, okay, I see what I need to see here to make sure we get this all tied together. I'll put the notes in the system and get it off to the folks to get it processed. We should have no problem getting this pushed through today. I'm like, all right, great. Thank you so much for your help. We ended the conversation very pleasantly, and off we went to our respective days. Good times. So, even though I wanted to scream, rage, and curse, I knew that wouldn't get me anywhere, because depending on who you're talking to, they might have extraordinary patience or zero patience, and there can be oftentimes absolutely no in between. And when you're dealing with people who are handling finances, you want to make sure you're as professional as possible, even if they're screwing up, because you might be upset or angry or having a really crappy day, but just because that's what's happening to you doesn't mean they deserve it. Even if that person is, like I said before, that person is the actual person who made the mistake. Working through the problem together gets the issue sorted out faster, you get paid faster, your money gets handled properly, no one talks bad about you, and then when it comes time for your contract renewal, you might get better terms. When it's time to talk about the next round of money making, right? So it's important to be professional, and I get this experience a lot talking to mechanics or truck stop staff, or people at warehouses every now and again when I'm picking up or I'm delivering or loading, whatever the situation may be. It's like these people remember people who are poorly towards them, who behave towards them like they're scum, who treat them badly. They don't forget. Okay? They definitely keep the receipts, especially those folks who have a sense of entitlement that comes with shall we say, their nation of origin. Whether that's a nation from an Eastern European portion of the world, or a Middle Eastern portion of the world, or a, shall we say, an Asian part of the world, depending on which flavor of Asian you want to insert there for your mental image. Even us Americans, us white boys, we can get pretty entitled as well, and we can get pretty stupid about how important we think we actually are, when in reality we're not as nearly as important as we think we are in reality. And it's important to just pay it forward and work through problems as smoothly and efficiently and healthily as possible, because whatever you can do to get a problem sorted out for someone like a factoring company who is handling your money, especially a company like Triumph, which might be in for some rough times ahead depending on how things with Surge Transportation end up sorting out, it's just going to be better for you and better for them and better for everyone involved, because if you can work through one issue